Hello and welcome to this new Learn by Video training course on Adobe Premiere Pro CS6. I'm very much looking forward to sharing with you this new version of Adobe Premiere Pro, partly because I love Premiere Pro and partly because this version is absolutely fantastic. There's a lot of great features added to this release, and also a lot of the things that in previous versions there were occasional criticisms of. They've just been absolutely answered and then some by the Adobe engineers. They've done a really tremendous job of turning this into an absolutely world-class non-linear editing system. Premiere Pro is primarily a cutter, and that means that it's for editing things together, selecting your media, organizing your media, and producing finished sequences. A sequence could be a television program, it could be an advertising spot, it could be anything where you're piecing together multiple pieces of media. Here, for example, I've got a simple visual sequence of someone who likes honey, just a series of shots one after another. You'll use Premiere Pro to do things like take a look at media, have a look through, see if you like it, decide on the part you want, maybe that part, put it into your sequence, and so on. But also, although Premiere Pro is primarily for cutting, just this process of putting things together one after another, there's a lot of other functionality as well. You've got a whole list of effects available. Here we've got lots and lots of video effects, lots of kinds of color correction, and you can do quite a lot of your finishing work right here inside of Premiere Pro. There are also lots of audio effects. Let's just have a look here. There we are, lots and lots of different things we can put onto our clips. And in fact, there's really powerful audio work that you can do using either clip-based effects, the kinds I'm looking at down here in my effects list, or up here in the audio mixer, you can work on track-based effects. This is actually quite a powerful audio finishing tool, as well as a nonlinear editor. The reason Premiere Pro is referred to as an NLE, as a nonlinear editor, is really to contrast it with things like videotape. With videotape, if I've got a series of clips one after another, like I have here on my Video 1 track, well, if I wanted to change one, I'd have to just overwrite it. I'd have to record over the top of the original shot. But because Premiere Pro is nonlinear, well, I suppose it's like the difference between an old-style typewriter where you'd have to rewrite the page you want to change and a modern-day word processor where, for example, I can grab the thing I want to move and move it somewhere else. And this ability to move things around, this idea of doing things out of sequence, applies not just to things like the editing itself. See here, I can mix these up and move them around a little bit. It also applies to the order in which you do things. So I can edit a little bit, throw on some effects. Let's have a denoiser. In fact, no, that's my audio, isn't it? Let me go to my video effects and throw on, let's see now, there's a nice Gaussian blur here. Let's have that on this shot. And let's go into the settings and just increase the blurriness a bit. There we go. It's perhaps a little too soft, but we could animate that later. And then you might decide to do some more editing. So actually, now that I think about it, I think this would be better at the end. And let's put that back there. And let's have this here. And then we'll have a nice soft focus at the end of the shot. So working with Premiere Pro truly is a non-linear experience. You can do things in any order that you like. Having said that, there is a workflow that you'll probably want to stick to where you'll organize your clips first of all and then gradually tighten up the edit over time and then do your effects, then do your titles, and then do your audio. It's kind of helpful to stick to that sequence of events. As well as being a powerful video editing system with things like, well, here, for example, I've got multi-camera editing, so I can open this up and I can work on multiple camera angles at the same time, as well as having those kinds of features. Premiere Pro also fits really neatly inside of the Adobe Production Premium suite of applications, or the Master Collection, which is just everything in one big bundle. The relationship between Premiere Pro and those applications is really unique. So, for example, if I wanted to get, well, let's say I wanted to get this shot and work on it in After Effects, I could just right-click or control-click on a Mac and choose Replace with After Effects Composition. And Premiere Pro will send that clip over to After Effects and dynamically link to it, so everything I do in After Effects appears automatically inside of Premiere Pro. A very powerful feature. And Premiere Pro is also compatible with other applications. If I want, I can import sequences from Avid Media Composer and also from Apple Final Cut Pro. Here's a sequence, for example, that was imported directly from an AAF exported from Media Composer. So if you're collaborating with editors using those other two systems, in fact, even the media is compatible. You can work with native ProRes media from Final Cut Pro and DNX HD media from Avid Media Composer. So here it is, a comprehensive, powerful, advanced, nonlinear editing system with compatibility with multiple other applications. And I hope by the end of this course you're going to love working with Premiere Pro as much as I do.